Hello, am I audible? One. The universe knows exactly what you want, but do you? Greetings, I am Panjami Anand and I work as the soul and reader. I am utterly delighted to be interacting with you. Today, on episode 3 of the Soul Talk series, we're going to talk about the art of wishing. The topic is as deep as the sea, and most of us, uh, what we do today we kind of tend to be very distorted on the topic of love, what we attract from it, what we need from it, and whatever we feel that we want from it, sometimes we feel we're not getting it. So, today on episode 3 of the Soul Talk series, we're about to talk about the art of wishing. I will speak about the art of wishing with regard to love. The next episode, we will be conducting on the art of wishing for money and how to attract what you want and how much. But today is about love. The topic is so vast, and I hope to put together relevant snippets that you could probably resonate with. I hope to help you understand the nature of what you are wishing and manifesting in the name of love. With my experience as a healer, I believe the art of wishing effectively has three requisites. The first one would be clarity, the second would be intention, the third would be freedom from limiting belief systems, and the fourth would be, if there is a fourth, I believe the fourth point, authenticity, is related to clarity. But let me just put authenticity as well. Some people get what they want instantly, while some have to toil it out. Some wishes never manifest, no matter how badly you want it. But the truer you are with yourself, the clearer your needs, the more earnest and sincere you are in manifesting them, the easier it becomes for the universe to grant you your wish. So before we begin on the 3 to 4 points that I just mentioned, the art of wishing and manifesting requires an individual to have what it takes to recognize what needs to change inside you, to manifest a change on the outside. So it requires you to have the power to transform whatever needs transformation in the self. Without that, all the spiritual seeking is going to be futile. So, this is no miracle session. Don't expect a miracle without learning how to invite and hold what you want. So, let us begin with the Serenity Prayer written by American theologian Reynold Neva. Now, kindly close your eyes for a moment and allow this beautiful, humbling prayer to flow through. So, it goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept things that I cannot change, courage to change things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. So, why do certain dreams or wishes not work the way you wanted to? One of the explanation for that would be your priorities and responsibilities weigh more than the dream itself. Sometimes there could be a disintegration within you, a divide. The way you wish, the way you desire, and what you desire could be split in itself by the duality or contradicting factors inside you. Now, when you make a wish and it does not manifest, perhaps you need to explore that wish. I have this lovely client who hated the idea of marriage. Now, throughout the session, I will be giving you examples from what I have had to work. Now, the people had, I would like to cite examples which we had to heal. So no judgment over here, but we try and just open to these things. And if you resonate with it, I hope it will help you with an effective change. Otherwise, just take it as a sense of perspective, an added perspective. So I had this lovely client who hated the idea of marriage. She had sworn to herself that being single is the way to ward off unwanted drama from her life. And she concluded on this decision after the upheaval she faced in previous relationships. Over the years, she has convinced the universe she doesn't need a man for the thousands of reasons that could make a relationship go wrong. And then comes this dapper dude who sweeps her off her feet. And then there is talk of impending marriage. And suddenly, this lovely lady who was so anti marriage is suddenly craving to be in a relationship. But sadly, it fizzled out even before it could begin. Now, this is because inside her, she really wanted a secure, complementary relationship, but the signal she was fiercely giving out into the world was the intent of staying single. Actually, she didn't want to stay single, but she was against the drama that being in a relationship can bring. The anxiety, the fear of failure, feeling low and morose, um, were some of the reasons why she chased the prospect away before it even began. So, what usually ruins a wish is the lack of clarity. She desperately wanted love, but not the heartache. So she kept asserting, I don't want marriage, love is not for me. So when love looks her in the eye, she tends to chase it away. So now, if you crave a beautiful relationship, okay, but you are terrified of the drama, try and create an inner shift that helps you diffuse the drama or unhealthy patterns that one invites over and over again. Now, I want love, but not the drama. Okay, don't say I don't want love at all. See, the art of wishing is also about it's about crafting your desire in a way that you know the universe is confused. So the universe knows that she's craving love. The wish granting angels know her confusion. They really know what she craves a love that's so long lasting, that's soothing, that's nurturing. But they won't give it to her just yet because if they give it to her now, she is not equipped to handle it. The angels will postpone her wish for now because she's yet to learn what a long lasting relationship requires. So that is why wishing is so correlated to the art of having clarity. Now, suppose you are open to the idea of marriage. Now, answer as honestly as you can. So, when one talks of expectations from a partner, okay, or a prospective spouse, people usually say, I want someone loving and caring and giving and tolerating and sharing. Um, there are many other gerunds that people think that they want. So people assume that um, they feel once they are in a relationship, a lot of these things are given. They feel that their needs will be taken care of. They feel that all the things that they deserve are just a given. But then, if we are to roughly put it, people believe that the love, the care, the obedience, that's the most easiest way to put it. People prefer to be listened to. Now, but if you put it rawly, everyone wants their beloved to do exactly what they say, behave and believe the same things they want. This is perhaps the biggest challenge that erupts in love. Another thing we crave for from a loved one is acceptance. We are required to behave ourselves in this world. So even in friendships, you cannot cross the line. But there is a shadow in our unmet needs. We carry the shadow, like we mentioned in the last episode. We have a shadow full of our unmet needs that we carry with us. In love, we have so much expectation, and one is often aching for someone to meet our soul needs. But we need to be true to ourselves, unleash the natural, most ordinary side of us. Sometimes we need an emotional punching bag. So we need to release all that we hide from the world and share a side of us, that we do not reveal otherwise in public. So the role of love is massive, but no one ever admits or voices their core expectations. So there's no judgment here. Like I said, I cite examples from some of the healing sessions that we had. Um, so We expect a particular something, and sometimes we get an entirely different package in the form of a spouse or a long standing relationship or a lover. So the irony is that they are the exact manifestation of what they attract from the universe in the name of love. But uh, so you may wonder, okay, now after you get into the relationship, you might wonder, see, this is not what I signed up for, this is not what I expected, this is not what I want out of love. But when you wish, okay, uh, when what you wish it goes the wrong way, one tends to think, I am unlucky in love. Why did this happen to me? Love is not for everyone. Love is definitely not for me. But let me cite another example. Okay, now this very very well off divorcee, he was looking forward to a second marriage, and uh, the thing is when he consulted me. Uh, like I mentioned earlier in our previous, I think the first episode of Understanding the Soul, I did mention that we have a male and female energy inside us. So if you are a male, you have a female. If you're a female, you have a male. So we tap into this gentleman's female energy within him, the yin and yang, like and of course, it is connected to the love that we attract from others. So this gentleman was clearly looking out for love. When we tapped into his love energy, okay, um, what happened was the love energy mentioned, or the female energy inside him mentioned that there is actually no room for a female in his life. Why? Because he had been through a lot, but at the same time, he was someone who loved his personal space. He loved his solitude. He loved being alone. He wanted a partner, but that was very rarely. Only when he felt lonely, and the loneliness tend to reach an extreme is the only time he contemplated marriage. So the angels, the higher order who kind of give messages when I'm a medium, they mention that this gentleman actually is not looking for someone to share himself with because he's not the kind to share himself. The angels reveal that he's so lonely that sometimes he also wants the world to see that he is with someone. So he was hoping to be with a gorgeous lady who's extremely talented. But that was that. He just wanted to be seen with someone, and once in a while, he liked intellectual company. So, all that he was attracting was a once in a while company. So, then the angels were asking him, do you really want to attract a lady into your life when you are not willing to give yourself? So, what you give in a relationship is exactly what you give. So, if you're not willing to give, if you're not willing to open up, it's only as much as you open up that you will get from your love. So, obviously, the angel asked him to, you know, probably change his mindset before he got into a relationship, open himself to actually loving and sharing himself before he wanted to bring another woman into his life and be miserable yet again. So, unless one resolves and understands and make the necessary changes in what is being manifested subconsciously, now, unless you find out what is it that you attract in the name of love, people repeat the same unfulfilling no pattern constantly. So, if this gentleman had married, it would have been an absolute recipe for disaster. The point to note here is the women he quoted, didn't follow up with him because they probably attract something else or someone else in the name of love. Now, I see a lot of unhappily married people who cannot come out of their marriages. Now, it's not that they lack the courage to come out of a relationship that isn't working for them, but it's because the person they are in a relationship with, on some degree, on some level, the person meets their core needs, and then probably it's just the loneliness or the fact that they can't talk about everything they desire to talk about. Perhaps there is a little difference in interest. There is loneliness. So the reason why people often do not come out of relationships is because some degree of their core needs are very clearly met by their partners. Okay. Now, suppose you've been in a relationship before where you have been cheated on. And when you're out of that relationship because of all that heartbreak, when you seek the next relationship, your priority will be someone who does not cheat. Yes. And now suppose you have lived in financial limitation and you've always known want. Now you would like to elevate yourself from that particular state and have a better present and future for yourself. You will definitely attract someone from that realm of society where they live exactly how you would like to. Yes. And then probably now, if you have been constantly neglected, you've been in a relationship where your needs are neglected, your wishes do not matter, where the person just does what he or she wants, and then you're kind of lonely, you tend to do everything on your own. What happens is the next time you're in a relationship, you will subconsciously attract someone who is constantly by your side, who's there, with their physical presence, who just comprehends all your needs before you even address. And these are examples. I'm coming to something. And then now suppose you were a rebel, okay? You've had a wild life. You've had relationships with several people. And now you've seen the extremes. Now you would like to mellow down and probably settle down. And then you realize, you may be a rebel, but then I would like my female or male energy to be complemented with a lot of certainty, with a lot of serenity, a little bit of convention, a little bit of self-respect, a little bit of. I'm not saying being a rebel lacks respect, but I'm just saying that sometimes when you want to settle down, you realize you need something different, and then obviously you attract someone who has a conventional streak to their nature and their lifestyle. Now, now suppose, okay, you aim to marry a rich spouse. You want a rich babe, okay, and now you zero in on this particular rich babe that you want to be with, and then you try to entice them with your intellect, okay, and with your well-crafted persona, which is not exactly really you. So what you're doing there is you're trying to attract something for what they have, not for what they are, for what they have by being something that you are not. See the irony over there. So you see, you're attracting that what that person can endow your life with, and than the love that you can have. So now imagine you get that rich spouse, you get that loyal partner, okay, you get that constant companion or a stable, conservative, honorable spouse, a reliable spouse. Now, or you emerge from your limiting background, okay, with a job or a marriage, or you find, okay, you find your loyal partner in your next relationship, and you find somebody who tolerates all your vices, tolerates your mood swings, all that. But then imagine you find all these, but then you're still miserable because marriage is more about love and companionship and feeling settled, and it's like feeling you have someone to fall back. Now, marriage is about sharing yourself. The universe heard your intense wish and granted it all right. But now you wish for something more. You got that constant companion, okay? But that constant companion is way too constant. They're there all the time. They leave very little breathing space for what you want. Now that you get that constant compassion, you're craving space. You just want them to give you a breather. Okay. Now you married that conservative lady or dude, okay? But then you realize, I was craving for a little bit of constancy in my life, but then somehow this constant constancy of what I thought I need is not exactly who I am. Okay. And now, okay, you want someone who takes care of your home, who would cook and clean, and somehow this person again is not matching your wavelength. So I like to draw attention on, okay, now you've got your priorities right for the time being. Okay, now you've grown as a human, now you long for a partner to bring another dimension into your life. So you wanted all these things, and when you get it, you would like something else too. So at this particular juncture, relationships drag, or people compartmentalize their lives because the partner that you have manifested has already fulfilled your deep criteria, okay, your inner criteria without a doubt. Now, over the years, you become blind to the main qualities that you have manifested in your partner. But now you want or you expect them to fulfill something else. So, Now you want space. Now you want the freedom from convention. Now you want a travel companion. You want conversation, which is a desire that is seeking manifestation after your core need has been ticked off the list. So, what I want to emphasize is as you grow, you realize what you manifested at the age of 20 is not what you do so at 40, and what you do at 60 is not what you want at 40. So just because you need what you need right now is different from your former criteria, do not disregard or hurt or find faults with your partner. Do not find them useless because they are not fulfilling your updated needs. There's a big difference with what you really wanted at the time and what you need right now. So the change happened in you, excuse me, not the other person necessarily. But you never know. Your partner has changed too. They wouldn't even have a clue what you really wanted now or what you wanted then, and why did you manifest them in the first place. So do not be arrogant or demand or command the person to elevate themselves to what you wish for right now or to your needs, your needs. So the key would be never to forget your core expectation from the person you love. Never forget to respect the value they have added when you first invited them. So be thankful for all the things that you have learned from them and all the ways they have helped you grow. Gratitude is of key importance in your relationships. Now, the art of wishing, especially in the matter of love, to be thoughtful of your priorities, be very mature in your expectation. Do not go about attracting a gorgeous woman who makes it. I'm just giving an example. Do not go about attracting a very gorgeous person just because you would like to be seen with someone like that. And then as the relation advances, and then don't be reminded, oh, I wish she knew what it's like to code or maybe I wish she would know something like what do you say some like equity trading. See, it's not possible. So think about what is it that you need. So if you want security out of marriage, then don't cry about the lack of love in it. So if don't shame your person for not knowing coding or equity trading or whatever you expect her to do. So we believe that we think that word marriage, if you find someone with this criteria, and if you feel that they include the package for the rest of your needs, it's not going to be included by default. So you have to make very clear wishes about what is it that you really expect out of now. Understanding how your wish get the better of you, or sometimes how you feel trapped just because you wanted something and then it's not working because it's not exactly the only thing that you wanted a now how do I put it, a confluence of things that came together. Somehow the confluence doesn't work exactly the way you think it might. So now suppose as a child you were not accepted. Somehow the people you grow around you didn't like your temperament, or your temperament wasn't to your parents' liking. And they emphasized how you should change, or how difficult you are, or how you need to be different or better. Your folks, they may be saying all this with an intent to do their best for you, or probably they're projecting their issues onto you. They may be super strict or exacting. They may be super strict or exacting, or uh, they want you to be a more refined version of you. So if you have grown up listening to thousand ways in where you should be better, how you should be different, how you could be um, more pleasing, somehow you tend to grow up internalizing what these you know critical things people criticize you, and sometimes you grew up thinking that internalizing perhaps this is what you're about. So you grew up being divided because you um, are something and then you're expected to be something else, and you grew up feeling not good enough, not perfect enough, not lovable enough. So when we grow up, there is a chance that we will attract people who make us feel the same way that we felt as children. So, if you were a victim of neglect and abandonment, you will subconsciously attract the same kind of person in the name of love. Now, this can go two different ways. Okay? Now, if you've been neglected or if you've been constantly criticized, what will happen is you become the kind of lover who is very critical. And you become the kind of person who's exacting. You expect the person to change all the time. Um, you would want them to do exactly what you want them to do because this is how probably you have known love in your early. And then what could happen is sometimes this will go the exact opposite way, wherein um, probably you might be passive in accepting somebody who's critical at you, who's criticizing all the time, or you may be someone who has absolute control, absolute control over the other person, and there is no room for them to control you. So either you are the controlling one or you're the one who is controlled. This is how it'll go. And then uh, if you have the clarity of what you can transform the fiber of the pattern of the life you choose. So we may send a wish to the universe. Okay, now give me a kind and gentle and sweet lady or guy. But then what you get in return is exactly what your inner child thinks it deserves, or believes that it deserves. So if your wish isn't working because somewhere you feel you're not worthy of anything anymore, the inner feeling of worthlessness, it manifests clearly than the love that you desire. That is why they say to attract love, you need to first love yourself. You have to have so much clarity on what is it that you want, where do you stand in your own eyes before you choose to share yourself with the other. Now, probably when you have grown in a certain way, it does tend to become a little difficult to transform what you attract from the universe, but it is not impossible. In fact, if you try and make the effort, it is definitely something that you can have clarity. So if you have clarity on what you want from love, no matter what kind of upbringing you've had, no matter what mentality you've grown up around, you can change your life around. You can definitely attract exactly the kind of love that would make you happy. Now, for instance, okay, now you want to attract a certain person, but you feel or you know that if you be your authentic self, this friendship or this love or this job that you want is just not going to happen. So you decide to, you know, try to behave differently. Now that you've changed inside, you want to attract something, but then if you portray yourself exactly how you are, it's not going to give you what you want. So what you do, you will change your mannerisms, or rather, you will change the way you appear. You will start dressing differently. You will start sounding differently. You will try talking about cool things. You'll try to impress. Now, the thing is, no matter what you do, maybe for a moment, you can go so far as to thinking you have what you want. Maybe you can fake it for a while, but after a while, you will not be able to hold on to that relationship or what you gather in your life by faking it, because faking can only take you so far. So uh, now there are things you cannot change in your persona. You feel, okay, um, if I really need to get something, um, I'm not going to get it because of the way I am, because of my background, or because of a certain way I look, because I'm not lovable in a certain way. Now, whatever you can't change in your persona, I would suggest it's best that you just accept what you can't change, because um, it's as if, how do I put it? You can't change what you want. So the least you can do is, change the expectations of what you think you. So now suppose, okay, you were say admonished or confronted or shamed or rebuked for not being what people around you wanted you to be. You tend to be divided inside you. You wish you will always, whatever you wish for, it will tend to be divided, it will tend to be incongruent and layered, and the wishes you make sometimes, it is so confusing to you and to the universe that it's difficult to bring you what you think that you want. Sometimes you think you get what you think you want, but it fizzles out. You get a job and then soon you're out of it, and then you seek another, but that doesn't work either. So then, unless and until you uh, tap into your true self, okay, and what you think you are on the inside, and bring it out, and it doesn't, you know, whatever you wish for will always be stunted. So it's as if, we all have, like we mentioned earlier, all of us have an inner child. All of us do. So it is the quality of that particular inner child that brings out the quality of whatever you attract towards you. So now, if you wish, now if you have an inner child that you personally do, you don't trust, okay, you don't want to hand over um, yourself to what you think is raw inside you, what is slightly unrefined. So, if you are reluctant to hand over your life to an inner child, it's like you do not want your inner child to drive you, drive your life, drive your love. So, if you feel, okay, you do not want to hand over the steering wheel of your life to an innocent, irresponsible, wavering, temperamental child, and the thing is, you feel that, if you let the inner child to drive, all the words that roll out of your mouth will ruin just about everything. So you hold back. But is that all there is to you? What about the joy you're capable of giving? What about your inner strength? What about the love that you have to give? What about the love you think you deserve? Do not limit yourself just because you feel there is an inner child inside you that is not refined or mature enough to handle what you really want. Now, suppose um, the key, suppose you would love to be your innocent, okay? Now, suppose you want to bring out your vulnerabilities with regard to love, and you want the happiness, you want the nurturing, you want all that love ensues. And but somehow, what you really, really want, what your inner child would be happy with, is not something that would look glamorous on the outside. You know, sometimes what makes us truly happy may not be something that you can post on social media. It may look very dull on the outside. In fact, you being happy on the inside may make your life look so unhappening on the outside. So very recently, I was talking to a niece of mine. um, she married very young. She had a job at a bank, and when she got married young. Um, what happened was, she was working in the southern part of India, whereas as her husband was working way up north. So the world around her told her, do not leave such a good profile, job profile, where you have so much scope to grow. But somehow, my niece, she was so clear. She said that, I've tried banking, that's my profile, but even if it has prospects, it does not make me happy. I'm not happy with that particular job profile. But she was happily in love at that time. And then she chose to quit her job and join her husband and and take her career, however life gives it. So she was so clear in what she wanted, and she chose love over whatever, a career could give her at that point in time. So, all I want to point out is she was so happy with the choice that she made because she was so clear on what she wanted. Now, uh, I believe everyone owes it to himself or herself to find out what is it that makes himself or herself happy and accept their inner child. They need to be as honest as they can to the self, and forget what has the show of value and display value compared to true inner bliss. Now, I'm going to share two examples again, and they're very sensitive ones. I share this as if I am walking on eggshells. Excuse me. I share this as if I am walking on eggshells and something related to motherhood. I've had two instances where I feel if I share them, they could be pretty insightful. Um, Two then, what I mentioned, they were young women in their early 30s. The first one, she had around, she had three miscarriages in a period of 2 years. Okay? Now, she was very dejected, going through a lot of treatment. That's when she came to me asking, you know, is motherhood even in the cards? Why do I have to go through so much trouble in order to conceive and invite motherhood to myself? So over here, I was not the leader before her for a while. I was just this girlfriend holding her hand, and I asked her, "Okay, just answer me honestly. Answer me. Do you really want to be a mom? Do you want to be a mom? Do you really want to have motherhood in your life?" And initially, she was a little offended by it. Now, she didn't like that question, but I said, you're not required to answer, but just think to yourself and answer honestly. Do you really wish to have a baby? Do you want motherhood in you? And then she thought about it for a while and she said, honestly, um, I'm not maternal. She confessed that she's not maternal, and it's absolutely okay. She said, I'm not maternal and I do not have the patience to give myself. Okay, in a way, a mother is required to give to her child. And I've been married for 4 to 5 years, and everybody is asking me about why aren't you having a baby? Firstly, my mom, and then my mother in law, then the aunts, and society, everybody just expects you to have a baby, which is the next natural transition in your life. So she said, I do not want to have a baby just as yet because I'm not ready. I know my biological clock is ticking, but you know what? Um, Not right now. Okay, maybe someday, but not right now. So I said, there you go. What you want, okay, out of your body and what your soul really wants. Don't you find these things to be absolutely divided? So when it is divided, the universe is utterly confused as to what to bring to you. So, and let me talk about the second case over here. This young lady, she had spent almost a decade on her career, and she was married for about 5 to 6 years. She was about to have her fourth IVF shot, and she came to me utterly dejected because she was about to go through the pain of it, and she was worried if all these efforts would go futile again and again. So I asked her the same thing again. Do you really want to have a baby right now? Or if you were to have a baby right now, okay, if you were to be a mom right now, what would your immediate concerns be? So she mentioned that uh, first of all, she would be utterly worried about her career because uh, she'll need to make arrangements for that. And she believed that, at this young time when health is on her side, she would love to travel the world. She would like to explore life. And she did not like the idea of staying at home constantly all the time, having a baby. Um, so then again, I mentioned to both these ladies, these happened at different times, but I remember telling both of them, see, you're asking your body, you're putting your body through extremely painful situations for something that you actually do not wish for. So, what is the wish that you are sending out into the universe? Because both of it, both the things, what she wants from her, what she wants from life, very different. So I mentioned to both of them, see what we can do over here is um, let your people know, okay, you're not ready for the challenge just as yet. Sometime yes, but then um, you can tell your body, okay, you can tell the universe that I'll have a healthy baby when I'm ready to nurture it, not right now. And whereas the second lady, the moment she heard this is actually her dilemma that's causing a delay in conceiving a baby, she immediately said, you know what, I'm absolutely ready for a child right now. But I said, great, but what you can do now is send a wish out to the universe saying that when I have a baby, I want all the help I can get. And I want my baby to be taken care of. I want my career to be taken care of. None of it should suffer. Okay. And she said, you can as well as invite a scenario where neither your baby nor your career. So then um, we realized all we needed was to create a mental shift where their wishes are not divided. So over here, um, it's just a case wherein there was a little lack of clarity from what people wanted from. So now it's okay. What I would like to say is not everybody is clear about what they want. Not everybody actually knows what they want. Not everybody knows how to manifest what they want, and it's absolutely fine. The first thing is simply to accept, okay, that okay, I don't know what I want right now, but I'm ready to wait and find out. I don't know what will make me happy. I don't know what I want from life. I don't know what is my dream job or what kind of love do I want in my life. So it's okay. It's okay not to know what you want, but then you owe it to yourself to find out. Okay, so you can channel all the um, warmth from the universe and tell it, please help me find out what is it that I want. Help me wish for something. Help me wish effectively for something that will keep me happy for a long time. So, how do I put it? Now, tell the universe, give me friendships that will make me happy. Give me a job that will keep me happy. Give me a job that pays me. Give me a career where I'm happy, where money comes in, where I'm so happy and kicked about waking up the next day and going to work. Give me a job profile where I am happy with the kind of challenges it brings me. So one of the things that I would like to tell you is the moment you are clear in what you want, what you wish for from life, soon you will be in the job profile you like. Soon you will be in a relationship that gives you kind of solace that you always crave. So it's okay now if what you feel you want is not looking cool, it's not going to be accepted by other people. But if it makes you personally happy, you owe it to yourself to embrace that what you want is not something that is accepted in a certain way. You owe it to yourself to get what you want, to manifest what makes you happy. Now, and then comes ambition. Now you decide what you want and what you want out of love, what you want. But then comes ambition for money and power and status and control over your life, control over others. Some people find a lot of joy in that. Some people do find it difficult to actually transform themselves. But then they want what they want, and there is nothing wrong in it. You know, so if you feel, there is some sort of instant magic or mantra that will make you the strongest person in the room, who has the power to determine the trajectory of everybody's life around, and if you feel that you can control how they should treat you, if you want to be worshipped by others, perhaps, you know, I don't know if spirituality will help you with it. But on the other hand, now if you can track your true inner potential and do the most difficult thing by actually choosing to transform one by one, layer by layer, peel off all those things that do not work for you, and allow yourself to incite respect from yourself and others simply by being your most authentic version, your most authentic action. Um, um, it's like being what you really, really are. Do not be divided on what you feel and what you say. And the more you learn to be like that, you let your own light shine and light up your path, and you diverge. You start to from this person you start changing from this person who didn't know what you want, who has no clarity whatsoever, to someone who has certain sense of quiet confidence that kind of incites a lot of inspiration in other people. So that sort of inner power is fulfilling to the core. And the more clear you are on the inside, the more you know exactly what you want. The more you know exactly how what you want should make you feel, how you want should, you know, what you wish for should make you feel so content, even if nobody else gets it. I think you owe it to yourself to just go and embrace whatever it is that you desire. So, with that, on a last note, I wish that everything that you want, everything that would make you happy, everything that you truly, truly desire, actually manifest as soon as possible. Okay. So thank you very, very much. This is Panjami Anand. It was absolutely delightful to share with you on this particular topic. So very soon, I hope to share an episode where what we can do to attract or wish for money, because love and money are some of the things that people want in their life. They are usually one of the questions that are often asked. And then I would definitely love to do a session on why love does not work for everyone, and obviously the soul connection to the challenges of what love brings into you. So this was more like a prelude to that, so that before we get into a more deeper session about why love doesn't work for everyone, I would like everybody to have an idea. Okay, what were you wishing for till now? Okay, what are the things that you can do differently? What are the things that you can manifest right now simply by understanding, like, whatever you were manifesting or wishing till date was not actually serving you. It brought you to a certain distance of whatever you wanted. It brought you something, a certain degree of what you wanted, but not everything. So I hope this simple prelude has helped you, or rather decipher what have you been attracting, and why things haven't been working exactly how they wanted. Okay, so that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.